So today I'm going to list 5 albums that I would want to have with me in the event of being stranded. What, on the top of a mountain? Down a hole? What, in a well? I've fallen down a well, but as I lose my grip on the wall at the side, there's a pile of CDs, and I just have to grab 5, which will accompany me for the rest of my days while I'm laying there, bruised, broken, in silty sewage water at the bottom of the well, listening to 5 albums that will comfort me until death's sweet release. Okay, so the first one that I grabbed was Exile on Main Street by the Rolling Stones. I think it came out in 71 or something, but it's the one that they recorded when they were literally exiled from the UK because they were trying to save some money on tax or something like that. They had a big tax bill and they had to stay out of the UK. So they went to Villefranche in the south of France, which is quite near Nice. And I went to visit that place and had a look at the villa that they were renting for that. And it's really a beautiful and inspiring location. They made the greatest rock and roll album that's ever been made in that particular house. And I jogged past it every morning. And I just love this record. There's so much great stuff on it and lots of little interesting bits in between. And it's of its time. And you can almost smell the heroin cooking on there. It's just fantastic. It's a great record for people who are enthusiastic about drugs and people who have abstained for many years like myself. The second album is by the Cardiacs. The album's called A Little Man and a House and the Whole World Window. And I chose this one because whilst I'm a huge Cardiacs enthusiast anyway, I like a lot of their stuff. But this particular record has like some mnemonic devices that keep repeating. There's one track on there called RES, which cannot be beaten. It's as a piece of sort of really wild kind of Zappa-esque kind of progressive rock. It's unparalleled. And there's also a good goth rock moment in Is This the Life, which is kind of like just doesn't sound anything like anything else on that record or any other record. And I love the Cardiacs because they're completely unique. There's a curious affectation in the voice, the guitar playing's amazing, and all of the arrangements just are mind-bending. So it's super atmospheric, and I think if you're stuck down a well for the rest of your life, you'd do worse than listening to that, because you're going to go crazy anyway. You might as well go willingly crazy and listen to the Cardiacs. I really love the Cult, and my favourite of their albums varies depending on what day it is. Today my favourite album is Electric. It was produced by Rick Rubin. It came after Love, which had She Sells Sanctuary and Rain and songs like that on it. And when they did Electric, they tried to record these songs in the same style as Love, and it sort of all sounded like goth rock and chorusy guitars, that kind of atmosphere to it. And Rick Rubin just said, throw away all those effects, get rid of all that stuff, let's simplify the arrangements and make an album that sounds like the Cult doing AC/DC. So it's got things like Lil Devil on it, which was a song that I covered in the first band I ever played in. It's got Love Removal Machine, which sounds a bit like the Stones, and as you already know, I'm a Stones enthusiast. So I don't know, it's a great record, and if you listen to the way the drums are, I think it's like, if anybody who wants to sort of understand, you know, a really succinct and efficient way of playing rock drums, you should listen to Electric, because where the pushes are, where the cymbals occur, and where the fills happen, everything he plays is super iconic throughout it. And it's like a lesson, it's like a blueprint for a great rock album. So you can't fall down a well without it. Number 4 is the Requisite Queen album. It's difficult for me to choose. I was tempted by Jazz because I think that's the one that I grew up listening to. I was tempted by Day at the Races because it's got some brilliant songs on there. Tempted by Night at the Opera, but none of those ones were the ones I grabbed. I grabbed Sheer Heart Attack, a phenomenal record. It's them sort of defining what listening to Queen means. And there's so much variety and versatility in all of the compositions on there. It's a great record. I love the artwork as well. Okay, the last one I'm taking down there is something that I'm taking down to educate myself. It's a band called Paris Monster. They're new, they're fresh, they're exciting. There's an album called Lamplight. I think it came out about 5 years ago or something like that. It's a sensational record. There's a song on there called Andalusia, and I just listen to it. I listen to it on repeat at the moment. I just think there's so much the melodic choices that the singer makes are really beautiful, and they're two multi-instrumentalists. So I think the singer plays bass and modular synthesizer, and then the other guy plays drums and another synthesizer, and between them they're just making this really beautiful music. It's so well written, and the lyrics are really sort of profound and thought-provoking, and I don't know, it's one of those newer records that's made me excited about music again, so I'll definitely take that to the well with me. So this has been me, Justin Hawkins, from the darkness, with my Stranded collection, i.e. 5 albums that I couldn't live without in the event of me being pushed down a well, because I wouldn't just fall. There's no way that happened. Somebody pushed me, and I think I've got an idea of who it is. But anyway, whilst reflecting on who may or may not have been responsible for my untimely, well-based demise, you could listen to The Darkness's Permission to Land Again, a special commemorative box set that celebrates 20 years since the dawn of our first record.
Thanks for watching AXS TV. Subscribe, follow, like, and do all the good stuff. And make sure you leave a comment below. I don't know, just let us know what your favorite AXS TV show is, or who your favorite bands are, and what artists you're into, or just say hi, man. I'd like to be told hi. We love hearing from you. That's the point, all right? Keep it coming.